Welcome back, welcome back. Layne Ragsdale and Cody Gregory are here, and they're here to talk about two different things.
Yes.
And do we need to segue from one to the other, or is
Where do you want to
either
start?
one? Yeah.
We could talk about the mob first.
Okay.
That's kind of where he and I got paired up together, and then we're doing some teaching and classes going forward this
Okay.
year. So
Wonderful.
kind of excited about that.
Yeah, we've had the mob on here before from a couple different business perspectives.
Yeah.
Kind of for people that haven't seen those episodes, let's talk about what the mob is and what it is essentially going to be doing in the community.
Okay. The mob is it stands for the Masterminds of Business, and it's an industry-specific networking group. And the idea behind it is we become the sales force for each other. We learn about each other, and we want to pass referrals back and forth as we know more and more about each other's business. And we want to be able to grow our business, our individual businesses, through the closed business that comes through those referrals.
Yeah, okay.
So it's the largest. The mob here in Harrison is a member of the overall Ozarks mob, and the mob is the fastest growing networking organization in the Ozarks. We've got 40 chapters and
Oh, wow.
chapters and almost 900 members now.
yeah.
Wow.
And so if you belong in Harrison, you can go to any of those chapters, whether it's in Northwest Arkansas or in Branson or in Springfield, and go and attend and be able to share about your business.
So you can network. Gotcha.
Get through the whole region
Right.
that way. You know, a lot of us belong to Rotary or Kiwanis, Lions,
Yeah.
some of those, and those are community civic groups where you do network and you meet people and you become friends. But the whole emphasis of the mob really is on growing one another's business, as opposed to having a civic component. It's more
Right.
really about your business.
Strictly business.
When you think about an organization like this, you think of if you're a unique individual business, that's fine. What do you do when there's like 12 insurance companies and 12 banks and
There's one each
How do you do
Okay.
that
in each chapter.
for each chapter? But
Yeah.
how many chapters can there
Yes.
be
It's
in
kind
one
of whoever
area?
There can be as
jumps
many.
in there
Okay.
first.
Yes.
And
Yes. So in our case, with Bear State is the bank that Cody, of course, represents in mob. But if another bank wanted to join, we're in the process of coming up. We meet actually 8 o'clock on Wednesday mornings. It's an hour and a half. Attendance is very important because you've got to learn about your members.
Right.
It's like a sales meeting for your team. So we're looking at doing a noon mob as well, where there could be a second bank, second insurance,
Okay.
second real estate,
and they
second
would
financial
network
advisors.
together themselves.
Yes, and they can visit back and forth, but the primary one in the group is the one that kind of first come, first serve. Whoever joins.
Let me ask, if you have a second group that comes, how do they network more region?
They can also go, for example, the one in Branson meets Thursday mornings. So
Okay.
we could leave and go up there.
Either one of the two different
Yes,
separate
yes.
chapters. Okay.
And it's very structured in how we do it. The first time we go around the room through a meeting, the members introduce themselves and talk about their business. We have 30 seconds to highlight who our specific target customer or client would be for that week, what we're looking for. Then the next time around, our guests can introduce themselves. If they don't overlap, if it's not another bank, if it's not another financial
Right.
advisor, then they can do the same thing and talk about their business. But if they do overlap, they can just say who they are and what their business is, and that way people know there's others in the area that may be starting to look at a different
Okay.
group. But the first in kind of has the priority position for that.
Who heads it up?
Here in town, it's Franklin Harp.
Okay.
He is our mob boss.
Okay.
Cindy Harness is our chapter right-hand woman who does a lot of the technical. Lefty here, Cody,
Lefty.
is our financial person. He sits to the left of the mob boss and takes
Okay.
care of all of our money and issues.
Okay.
And
Make sure all the money's laundered
That's right.
yeah,
properly.
yeah.
Exactly.
He's really good at that. But we meet on Wednesday mornings at 8 o'clock at Bear State Bank. And they've been
Awesome.
wonderful to provide a
Okay.
meeting space for us.
Well, that gives us a little more in-depth look at what mob
It is, and
so.
I'll tell you what I have learned, and step in on the things, as each of the businesses that I thought I knew a lot about, you know, I know lady from Mary Kay
Right.
through Cindy, and I know insurance people and the handyman, painter, and then you listen to all the stuff they really do, and it's fascinating how in-depth most of it is. And
So it's also a good resource, I guess, for like us that may not be in that mob to, like, I know you, or
Yes.
I know you, and call
Yeah.
you and say, hey,
exactly.
can you know,
Yeah.
tell me somebody who does a
Yes.
certain type
Yep.
of business or
Yes.
something. Okay.
Go ahead.
It's a more efficient way to refer people. I mean, the more you know about somebody else's business, the easier you can find their target clients.
Yeah.
So that's what the whole meeting is about, is to come together as like-minded business people and learn about other business owners and what exactly they do in the community.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
One of the fascinating things today, we have a gentleman that has a painting and design business, and they have bought new some type of software that they can do virtual reality cabinets for your house, and you put the headset on and you can see what the cabinets would look like in your house.
Oh, neat.
That's
you'd have
awesome,
never thought.
actually.
You know, so I thought that gives me another way to refer.
Oh, definitely.
Each of us knows, they say on average, 250 people. So if you think about becoming the go-to source for your 250 friends to be able to say, well, I know that Cody has this ability, and I know that if you want cabinets, you have this, and if you want a financial advisor, this.
Yeah.
And there's a sense of accountability as well, because we have to go face each other. If you refer somebody to me and I do a poor job for them, I'm going to see you again next Wednesday.
Exactly. And you're going to hear about it.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Well, there's a monthly fee or a yearly fee, right?
Yearly
Is that
fee of
correct?
$100.
Okay.
And the real cost of it really is time commitment more than anything else,
Yeah.
because we are expected to have member-to-member meetings throughout the month to where we learn more individually about if we have questions.
Okay.
And then attendance is very important. You can miss 3 meetings a quarter. But other than that, you're there every Wednesday
Once a
morning at
week,
8 o'clock.
yeah.
Because it's important. We each have spotlights that we talk about our business to help other people. And if the other members aren't there, then you've lost that opportunity to share and have
Yeah.
them learn more about your business.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And if there's questions, Trent Fears and I are the membership committee, so you could call me
Okay.
and 870-741-6378. Or you can call Cody also at the bank.
That's right.
Okay.
And your number is?
870-391-5917 will come
Yeah.
directly to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's segue into what you want to talk about, your classes that
Yes.
about finance.
As you know, because you all have had me on here before, I have the opportunity to teach some finance classes through the North Arc Continuing Education. And after Cody and I kind of met and got to know one another through MOB, one of the things that we've had quite a bit of interest on is how you teach your kids about financial issues. And so we're having one that's Kids in Cash on April 25th. It's a Tuesday night, 6:30 to 9:30 at the Durand Center through the college.
Have you had this one already before?
I had a smaller one,
Smaller
but
one,
now
okay,
what we've
yeah.
really done, it's going to kind of build off of that. But Cody does quite a bit of the education work for the bank about kids and credit and stuff. And so he's
Okay.
taking the lead on this.
That's awesome. And, I know from having a kid in high school even that he knows how to write a check, but they use debit cards so much. Or
yeah.
if they have to write a check, it's like,
They're lost. Yeah.
Or even, how important your credit is
Yeah.
later on in life.
Sure.
Start it now.
And Bear State Bank has done for several years now what's called Financial Fitness Program, and we go into high schools, usually in the spring, and kind of give them mock careers
Right.
and mock expenses, and they have to balance that and see what real life is. And kind of the spin that I'm doing with this is, there's multiple different ways to establish credit history, and credit's very important at an early stage in life, and just making sure we get on the right track to get that started at an early age as opposed to when it's vital and when you need it.
I helped volunteer at one of those at the high school, and it was kind of amazing where the priorities were with the kids. I mean, some of them did excellent, but some of them, it was just interesting to see, where they were prioritizing the limited amount of funds that they had. So
And-
I can see the need.
Part of what will segue then to his part from mine is, what's your kids' money story? What are they learning at home? So my part is kind of
Right.
geared toward the parents saying, what are you teaching your kids? What are they picking up from you that they may sense? And that may be part of
Yeah.
the issues with the priorities and
True.
stuff. And then when you have that as a kind of a foundational thought for your family, and then being able
Exactly.
to transition to that to really touch those kids, I think is going to be a good class for us.
Do people open checking accounts anymore? I mean, do people write checks?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The demand for checks is always going to be there.
Okay.
The more you hear about it, the technology, they're saying that checks are going to dissipate, but we don't see that happening
Yeah,
anytime
okay.
in the near future.
Some people,
wondering.
especially, I don't know this, but maybe the older generation may tend to write more checks.
Absolutely.
I would think.
Absolutely.
Well, and I can tell you from my world, we can do stuff electronically back and forth, but it has to start with a voided
Right.
blank check.
Right.
And so one of the things that we've run into is people go, well, I don't have any checks, I just use a debit card. Well, I've got to have something
Right.
that shows what your
Right.
account number,
Right.
what your bank routing number and all that
Right.
stuff is before you can even get started down that path too. Handing me a debit card doesn't do it in my
Right.
world.
Right. That's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, but this is an exciting opportunity, I think, to be able to tie in with what we already had set up to do financial classes through the college and really bring it down into what he's able to do through Bear State and make it more hands-on and real life for those kids. So it's an exciting.
That's a good
time.
partnership.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us
Yeah.
again when it is.
Yeah.
And
April 25th. I looked at him to make sure because I got up here and looked at him and said, "When's our class?" April 25th at the Durand Center, 6:30 to 9:30. You can register through North Arc through their website.
Okay.
You do need to register for the class. So we know how many people are coming and supplies and stuff. And or they can call the continuing education at 391-3100 also and register that way. Or get a hold of us. We gave our numbers earlier.
Right.
We'll get you
Good
set
deal.
up. We'll get you fixed up.
All right.
Thank
All righty.
you.
Anything else that you've got coming up? Any more classes?
Yeah, I do. I have 2 more classes coming up. One is, I don't have all the dates, and I'll get back to you all on the dates, but they're in April. You can find them on the North Arc website as well. They're in the end of March and the beginning of April. But one is the financial implications of aging, which we're doing with Kathy Golden, with the Sprott, Golden, and Bardwell again. And that's going to focus on housing. Housing is a huge issue to seniors. 36 to 40% of their retirement income goes just to housing. And that gets more and more expensive as we age. And so it's looking at what all your options are for
Oh, wow,
housing.
okay.
So that's going to be an exciting one, I think. That's April 18th. And then ours is April the 25th. And then I've got one coming up March 28th, I think is another Tuesday. And it is strictly retirement, the idea of planning for retirement. It's never too late or too soon.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for great information. If you'd like to be a part of that, contact contact information numbers that were on the screen or at the end of the show. All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to go to Wanda Massengale, as she's here with the Ozark Humane Society, and we have a Pet of the Week. We'll be talking and
Ollie.
showing Ollie here in just a few minutes. Stay with us.